Here we go. Ready? Welcome back to the episode 3 of the Second Take podcast.
Yes.
As you can see, we have our very first guest appearance in Jason Lipsey. Everyone give it up. Give it up for Jason. If you didn't know this, he bought a mic specifically so he could come on the show. Just putting that out there. So yeah, we have a pretty good show for you guys. And I guess let's get started now. All right, so I guess the breaking news in the sports world right now, other than the bubble, obviously, which has gone on for months, or almost a month now. I think it is almost a month now. Is college football. The Big Ten and Pac-12 recently canceled, which really, it broke my heart. I love watching my Buckeyes each and every year destroy teams, except for Clemson, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna discuss if you guys think
chokes.
If we think it's a good idea to move it back to the spring, or move it to January, like Ryan Day said, or maybe we should just play without the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, because we all know that actually the Pac-12 doesn't really matter for the playoffs. I mean, maybe like some low-level bowl games.
Okay, well. I mean, USC was definitely the top 4 team this year.
One of the best defenses.
Yeah, Texas got to destroy
Texas.
Utah.
Okay,
Texas.
Okay. We're getting a little off topic.
I laugh at Texas.
All right, ready? So I think it's kind of a joke to assume that we can just continue the college football season right now. Obviously, the COVID cases aren't exactly trending extreme downwards, which I think, especially for a sport like football where there's so much contact and so much close quarters interactions the whole game, I think it's going to be virtually impossible for anywhere in the country to restart right now. So I think it's ignorant and pretty stupid, honestly, for conferences like the SEC and the ACC, Big 12, to think that they should have the season right now. And even if they do, I think it delegitimizes it so much that who's going to care if, Ohio State is real, and Penn State, I guess, are the only 2 contenders, but no one's going to really consider it as valid. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, there's a whole, it's difficult because all the players want to play, of course, and then building the thing about playing college football is if all those schools who aren't playing college football also just better not go back into regular school. You know what I mean? Because that's even more dangerous. So that would be almost hypocritical if that happens. I hope that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Just because if you're just in a case of an atmosphere with only people getting tested and almost kind of like a bubble situation in your team setting, right? Schools just shouldn't go back in general if football can't go back in general either. But then also there's so many consequences financially, there's people were saying this a lot of staff is going to be laid off. The small town college football teams are going to suffer immensely economically. And then one big point is if last year this happened, Joe Burrow would be a freaking 5th round draft pick. You know what I mean? He would not be the number 1 pick if this happened last year and college football is canceled. So all the players who are going to go to the draft are going to have a year less of a resume than players who got drafted for this year, for example.
Yeah, but in the college football season, like anything, we have to prioritize health and safety over whether a guy makes money or not, because it's just not going to happen. If everybody gets it, college football, I was talking to this guy who's going back to school, and the school is online, but the thing is that a lot of kids are going back to the campus anyways, and there's going to be partying in the fall. That's just what people do in college. I don't think anyone's going to stop it, and there's going to be a lot of spreading at those, and I don't think the football, I think if they started the season when the Big 12 starts, I think it's going to be a mess, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, people who like Jason, for example, who just party nonstop every other weekend or every weekend.
Really, college sports being canceled is that it's not necessarily like a good thing to do because you never want them to be canceled, but it's the right thing to do because how trustworthy are these student athletes who are 18 years old, 19 years old, or how trustworthy are them to not go out to a party or just hang out with their friends and just get COVID on accident? If they get it, then the entire program probably has to shut down for however long to make sure nobody else gets it, because they're just kids, really.
I think
so. They're not paid professional athletes. They don't have. Yeah. This isn't their job like the NFL.
Yeah, they're not contractually obliged to do anything.
I think college football. I think the only way it has a chance of happening this year is if they move it to, like Ryan Day said, maybe February or something, and maybe we have a vaccine or it's gone way down in the U.S. I think that's the only way.
Well, the thing about that though is if they move to January, is that you're gonna lose so many stars who are gonna go to the NFL, for example. Like by the time
I think that's still in the sweet spot where.
Yeah,
he said January. He said like kind of.
No, I get
New
that,
Year's.
but if you think about
spring, I think spring is a joke. I think
but if you start,
no one will play.
If you start February though, I mean, by the time the combine is what in March? April. I mean, that's the amount of the amount of stress these players will put their body through, no matter what, is going to be immense if they still want to play in the college football season. Then go to the training camp that summer, the NFL. Yeah. I mean, you can tell that the college is putting amateur first, which is nice. You know what I mean? They're putting the college football first ahead of pro, which is, but the NFL is not gonna. I mean, maybe they'll help out a little bit, but I don't know how much they will change their combine, their drafts, or anything for college football.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a senior who's kind of a fringe NFL player, you still have a better chance to make it to the NFL. Not than you usually would, but you can still get better. Like, you can still work out, and you can still work out in front of NFL teams. I don't think they're gonna stop that.
And don't get to your gameplay as much.
Yeah, but if you have decent tape.
No, I get that, but Joe Burrow, right? Like, he would not be the number one pick.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But
there are also players like DTR, UCLA starting quarterback, where he can have good tape, but one of his big problems is his fumbling problem. From tape and just making plays by yourself, not in a real game, you're not going to be able to say, oh, he improved and was able to get better ball security and stuff like that. So there are players who would need an actual season to prove to the NFL coaches and staff that they are worth taking in the draft.
I mean, there's so many NFL players who that would just have a breakout season, right? And it's their last college season. Yeah.
All right. Well, considering if college football actually does happen, hopefully it does. I mean, what are your guys' college football predictions? Playoffs. Sorry for not specifying that. So, all right, someone can go.
So if we're talking, you want to go, Jason? You go.
All right. Well, for me, I got 1 seed Clemson, easy. I mean, you could debate Ohio State, but I'm going Clemson 1. It shouldn't be that much of a question. Then Ohio State 2. They're pretty solid and locked in for the playoff spot. Number 3, I got Alabama. Mac Jones is going to do his work. And Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is going to pop off. I'm calling it right now.
Najee Harris. Other guy.
That also. And then the fourth spot is more of a toss-up. It's between Wisconsin and Penn State for me. Texas is not going to get it, but we can pretend they can. So, yeah. I mean, Miami might be a sleeper because they just got De'Aaron King. And I'm higher on De'Aaron King than most people are, but they're a sleeper team.
All right, so obviously Ohio State won, not even a question. Clemson's not even ranked on mine. I'm done with them.
That makes no sense. Maybe
because they're the team that didn't make it to the
Clemson's
national
Clemson's 2. I have number 3 as Alabama. Even though I think they're going to lose in the regular season, but I think they're going to probably beat Georgia in the SEC championship because I don't know. I think Alabama, I honestly think, I don't want to jinx anything, but I think this is their decline from the top. And then Yes, it is.
That makes
Watch
no
it-
sense.
watch it happen.
Bryce Young is
Watch it
literally the debatably the 1 or 2 best quarterback in
Watch
the
it happen.
high school.
Watch
this
it
year.
happen.
Jalen Waddle is a goat.
I don't know if you've seen Bryce Young play, but he's
Yes,
insane.
I have, Alex.
Well, clearly you have not with that take, but
DJ's better. DJ's better.
yes, he's insane, but he's a backup right now
Yeah. To the trash Trevor
to
Lawrence.
the GOAT.
Joe Burrow is a backup.
Okay, and then I got the 4. I got the 4 as horns down, Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler
Ooh.
is gonna pop off.
Okay.
Heisman candidate for sure.
Let me walk through my top 4 real fast. So number 1, Clemson. I feel like it's like undebatably, like that's just what's gonna happen. Ohio State has just lost so many. Okay, no Chase Young, no good old Jeff.
KJ Hill.
That's true. That's true.
No, KJ Hill's on the Chargers.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
they lost him.
Okay. What? Yeah. Whatever.
Exactly.
whatever.
So no.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're good. You're good. I
And then-
misunderstood.
and then number 2, Ohio State. I actually think they'll be number 2. After that, Alabama. I feel like that's pretty confident in that. I think they'll be just as good, best recruiting in the nation, or one of the best recruiters in the nation. With the new 19, 18-year-old QB Bryce Young from Mater Dei, they're gonna be insane.
Arguably the best coach.
He's a duel too. I mean, arguably the best coach. Definitely, I feel like he's definitely the best coach
He's
in college
definitely the best
football.
coach.
Dabo's
That
coming
makes-
up there, and then I'm kind of mixed on 4. I'm gonna go. I think JT Daniels, the transfer to Georgia. No, I don't think you guys understand how good of a season he would have, or is gonna have, and how good Georgia's gonna be. JT Daniels, he was starting off hot. If you saw that first game USC played, it's just he unfortunately tore his ACL.
He's coming off a hard injury.
Coming
Also,
off a hard
so.
injury, but Georgia's, as you know, just a system, a program, a machine. Okay, that's a maybe. Oklahoma's a maybe. Spencer Rattler will be insane, of course. And then also, dark horse USC, of course. Keaton Slovis, the best freshman. Keaton Slovis is the best true freshman QB coming off the best true freshman QB season. And I feel like
Keenan
that's
Slovis's game plan was chuck it to
undebatably-
Michael Pittman, who's like 6'8". Michael
6'4",
shout out
small.
Michael and Kiana.
If you see, oh yeah, Michael Keanu, if you want to come on the podcast, hit us up.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We love to interview about your YouTube channel. But yeah, USC will be. I think USC's. I have them over Oklahoma and Georgia. I think USC is going to be in there, or would be in
Really?
there if they actually played. But
If they have a good coach, which
Okay.
they don't.
I know.
I'm gonna go with my top 4. Clemson depends where they're ranked. I don't know if they're gonna be 1 or 2 because they're not gonna lose a game because they play in the ACC, which is trash.
Factual.
So I don't
North
know.
Carolina's
It
looking
depends
dangerous.
if Clemson is 1 or 2. I have
Maybe
Clemson
next year.
and Ohio State at 1 and 2. I don't think either team's gonna lose, but I think Ohio State, if one were to lose, I think Ohio State would be more likely just because they play better opponents. 3, I think you have to go Alabama. Nick Saban, he's got the system down. He knows what's going on. Number 4 is a toss-up. I also like Auburn a lot this year. Bo Nix beat Alabama last year. Inexperienced quarterback, but they're a well-coached team. They have some good players every year. Oklahoma's always in the conversation, even though they suck. Texas, experienced quarterback.
Texas 8-5 last season.
Experienced
8-5 last season.
Ooh.
What? We won like the Alamo Bowl or something.
8-5,
Wow.
buddy. 8-5.
Wow.
Okay.
Alamo Bowl victory.
Okay.
Alamo Bowl.
For the Alamo.
Texas is in the conversation. We have a senior quarterback, Heisman candidate, much improved defense over last year. You know what? Also, I think I like Auburn the best in the 4, because the strength of schedule. I think if they can rattle off a few wins against an LSU and an Alabama or something, I think Auburn has a great chance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Auburn. Okay, maybe, yeah.
Jason,
All right.
Jason, go.
He already did his, yeah.
Yeah, Jason went.
Okay.
All right. So staying on the top of college football, I know we've been hinting at it for the past couple minutes, but who's the best quarterback in college football?
Now let me just start this real fast.
No.
Let me just start this because Trevor Lawrence is obviously.
Hold on, Alex. I'm vouching for Justin Fields. Alex is for Trevor Lawrence. I believe Jacob is for
Justin
Ehlinger.
Fields. Justin Fields. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Realistically, Sam Ehlinger, but other than Sam Ehlinger, Justin Fields.
Okay. And then Jason actually sleeper pick Trey Lance, FCS. Okay. That's all I need to say.
Let me just start real fast.
All right.
True freshman, college football national title. I already have that under the bag.
2 years ago.
Okay. I guess. But also LSU. He lost to LSU. I'll give you that. But wait. Oh, that was a college national football. That was a national championship again. So 2 back-to-back national championship appearances, 1 win. Pretty good, I would say. Also, LSU had one of the best defenses. Obviously, had 5 defensive players selected in the draft, along with. That's true. That's a fact. But fact check me on that.
Okay.
Also
so how
had
many points did they
Derek.
allow a game?
What?
How many points did they allow a game? That
LSU?
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Like what? 33.
You know who had a better
check now.
game against LSU's
Okay, they were
defense?
pretty. Okay, wait. No, let me keep
then-
talking. Let me explain. Okay, maybe they didn't have a good defense, but guess what?
Jason knows.
He torched Ohio State in the semifinals. They were number 2. I know, maybe only like he had 2 touchdowns. What, 230 yards or something
Alex,
like that?
you want to know what his
Hey.
completion percentage was?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
54. That's not good.
Ooh.
Okay,
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Let me finish. Okay, beat Ohio State. That's obvious. Okay, that's just if you beat Ohio State at defense this year, they were literally insane. You have to give someone. You have to give a good QB that. Okay, beat Alabama as a true freshman. That's insane. Also, last year the 2018,
Pretty good.
the 2018 Alabama defense was insane. Also he doesn't throw he doesn't choke. You know what I mean? Justin Fields is not a choker. Unlike some other people, Justin Fields, for example, in overtime throws a freaking dime to the defense. I don't know what happened there. They say it was the receiver's fault, didn't make the right cut, but let's be honest for a second. Justin Fields. Hey Max, you remember this position? Remember that, huh?
Okay.
Grab me his helmet. He
No,
lost.
I'm starting. Actually, no. I want to save mine for last.
Okay.
He also let me build on this. He also had more rushing yards than Justin Fields. Who knew that was a thing? Yeah,
Ooh.
fact check me
When
on
regular
that.
season
Talking
or
quarterback?
regular season?
Regular
Talking
season.
quarterback.
Fact check it. No, I think through all.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Talking
I don't think
quarterback with
Justin
more
Fields
rushing.
had that many rushing yards that the semifinals. Let's be honest for a
He had
second.
13.
Okay. And then you remember that? Oh, what was that? You
Fortune
remember
that
that?
defense.
Like what? 70-yard run or like what was 56-yard run
60-ish yards.
60 yards by Trevor Lawrence
That
against
pocket
Ohio
passing.
State. Yeah, pretty insane. And then yeah, that's my case for. that's my
I have a
case.
little thing against
Okay.
Justin Fields.
Okay.
Or you can go first.
Can I go? Okay. Here's why I just don't have confidence in Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a great player. I think he should be the #1 pick. I think he's a great player, but I think Justin Fields is better. Justin Fields had more touchdowns, and Trevor Lawrence just he threw 8 picks playing in the ACC. That's not that good. His completion percentage against Ohio
Watch
State
his first half
and
compared to his
LSU
second half.
was 54 and 48. Not very good. I don't think he had a great season last year. I think he had a good season. I think he's a great quarterback. He'll obviously have NFL success, but I think Justin Fields is just better. Justin Fields also threw 3 picks. Trevor Lawrence threw 8, and Justin Fields was playing against Penn State, Michigan,
Nice.
these great Big Ten teams, and he was just
I'm just saying,
he didn't turn the ball over.
If Sam Ehlinger made the national championship with his stats, that would be the most insane season for Sam Ehlinger. Let me just put that out there.
The one thing Trevor Lawrence didn't do this season or last season was improve or progress. He didn't really get much better from the year before. He didn't show much improvement at all, especially playing in the ACC.
He did throw more touchdowns, but he also threw more picks.
Exactly.
Which just shows
So-
he's trying new things.
against the ACC.
He is. I mean, it's a
Okay.
fact. Look at his
Yeah,
offense.
it is a
The
fact.
scheme was way more complicated this year.
All right, Jason, do you want to state your case for the boy Trey Lance?
All right, so let me tell you something. Let's go back a couple of years, 4 years, I think, at this point, to our boy Carson Wentz. He also went to North Dakota State. He was the number 2 pick. Could have went number 1. People were flip-flopping between him and Jared Goff. Should have went 1, just saying. And his stats at North Dakota State, they were all right. They were all right. He threw for his last full season because his senior year he was hurt. He only played half the season. His junior year, he threw for 3,111 yards and then 25 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, 10 of them. Trey Lance threw only for 2,786 yards. It's not as
Are we
many.
comparing Carson Wentz and Trey Lance? Is that the debate right now?
Yes, we're just doing
okay.
that right now.
Sorry.
You setting it
Threw
up?
for 28 touchdowns, zero interceptions. Do any of your quarterbacks have that on their resume? No.
No, none
Did
of our
Carson
quarterbacks
Wentz-
are in the
I-
FCS.
I have one word. I have one word for Jason that destroys Trey Lance. Competition.
Carson Wentz.
Look at his schedule. Look at his
Carson Wentz
schedule.
Says the
played against
Trevor
these-
Lawrence
Whoa,
fan.
whoa, whoa,
Says
whoa, whoa.
the Trevor
Carson
He
Wentz
beat
played
Ohio
against the
State
same
and
competition.
Alabama. I mean, I don't know. National championships.
Okay.
Did
we'll
any
get
of
to
your
that.
quarterbacks go undefeated last year and win
Competition.
their national championship for their
Okay,
division?
Jason.
Didn't think so.
NDSU gets every single really good recruit that won't get much playing time in the top division. Okay,
I
Can I-
every
understand.
single one. He has
I
the
understand.
best receivers, the best defense, and of course he throws. I mean, I'm not saying of course, but his interceptions were gonna be low.
So
Like,
does Trevor Lawrence.
Can I?
But so did
have-
Okay.
Carson Wentz have all these pieces. Carson Wentz had all these pieces. He went to North Dakota State. He threw 10 interceptions.
Can I just walk through
Trey
the
Lance
schedule a little
threw
fast?
0.
Can I just walk? Butler,
Please.
week 1. North Dakota, Delaware, UC Davis, Illinois State, Northern
Okay,
Iowa,
then why
Missouri
didn't the
State,
number 2
South
pick
Dakota
in the
State,
2016 draft
let me
not
finish.
throw
Youngstown
interceptions?
State, Western Illinois, South Dakota, Southern Illinois.
Alex, can you also walk
What's
us
that?
through Trevor Lawrence's schedule?
I will do that. I will do
Nicholas-
that.
Yeah.
Please walk us
Please.
through
Competition,
Trevor
Ohio State. Time out. He literally just
One
like
team,
destroyed
man.
Ohio
Michigan.
State.
And then you're like the best players in the FCS.
beat
Bro,
Alabama.
Clemson gets
Okay,
the best
okay,
players
okay.
in the FBS.
Of
Okay,
course
okay,
they do.
ready?
Because they're gonna win a national champ. They should win
Let
national
him talk. Let him,
championship every
let
year.
him talk.
Ready? All right. Let's get the notebook up in here.
Ooh.
All right, Justin
of doom.
Fields, 67.2 completion percentage on the season, 65% for Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence did attempt 40 more passes, so I'll give him to that. I'll say that's about even. Trevor Lawrence, 3,600 yards. Justin Fields, 3,200 yards. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence has him there. 9.2 yards per attempt for Justin Fields, 9 for Trevor Lawrence. Obviously a little better. 41 touchdowns, 3 picks, not including the 10 on the ground from Justin Fields. 36 touchdowns, 8 picks for Trevor Lawrence. And then the real standout for me, the real, I think, differentiator, at least just for these 5 stats, Justin Fields' QBR is 181.4. Trevor Lawrence's is 166.7.
What was the
Big drop.
What was the average yards per pass on?
9 for Trevor Lawrence, 9.2 for Justin Fields. It's
Trey Lance had
minuscule.
9.7. Trey Lance had 9.7.
Okay, let's get
We're
that
done
Trey
with
Lance
Trey
out of
Lance.
there. He's a beast.
So
I'll
why
give
did-
it. No, Trey Lance is a beast. He just doesn't. He's not in the realm.
Why?
Of Trevor
Okay.
Lawrence
If Carson
and
Wentz has the
Fields.
same players, same level
Okay.
of players, same level of competition, why doesn't he throw no
We're
interceptions
not
and
arguing
28
if he's
touchdowns?
going to make the NFL or not. We're arguing
Yeah, we're
about
argu-
college players.
college player.
If he's playing better than Carson Wentz, when Carson Wentz was a great college player, number 2 overall pick worthy greatness.
Okay, get out of there. Mute
I'm
Jason.
telling you. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Let me just say that.
Jason. All right.
I also have a thing for J.K. Dobbins. 2003 the yards. Is that what he ran? I'm pretty sure.
Something like that, yeah.
How many touchdowns did he? Let me see. J.K. Dobbins.
20s.
20s. The end of 20s. J.K. Dobbins. Wow. I mean, that kind of helps, right? Having that on your team. And Travis Etienne, I'll give it to. He's insane, but he only ran 1,300 yards. He only ran 1,300 yards. Okay, that's
That's fair.
700 yards fewer.
Yeah, because
But-
he had way less carries. Travis Etienne is probably better than J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, you know why he had less,
I think
less
he's better.
carries?
Oh,
You know
okay,
why he had less
yeah.
carries?
I think Travis Etienne's better than J.K. Dobbins.
Well,
Okay.
last season he wasn't. I
He's
mean,
at
maybe
least
in their
not
NFL career
on
they
the
will
stats, but I think Travis Etienne is
Exactly,
more
not on the
explosive
stats. On the
than
stats, Justin Fields is obvious. Like Justin Fields seemed better with his touchdowns and interception like ratio. But if
Okay,
you look at
I'm
what he
gonna
does,
give-
if you look at his reads and the passes he makes, it's insane.
Okay, I'm gonna give
what
you
were,
two
their
more.
completion percentages?
67.2 for Fields and 65.2 for Lawrence.
Trevor
I said
Lawrence
those
couldn't
are
even
pretty
keep
much
up with Trey Lance.
Dude, shut up.
Garbage.
All right. So the first point I have is competition. Okay. So Penn State, Michigan, and dude, stop triggering Siri. Okay, and the Big Ten had 6 teams in the final top 25. ACC had 2, one of which being 9-5 Virginia. Dude, stop. And then secondly, like you would expect Clemson's average margin of victory to be higher than Ohio State's. That wasn't true. It wasn't a big gap, but hold on. Ohio State's was 36. Clemson's was 35.1. And Ohio
There's
State
a reason for that.
one more
It's
game.
because Clemson played nobody, so their good players would get taken.
Last point
Go to the
on
NFL.
this. I'm saying that the Fiesta Bowl, the dreaded this pose that Alex mentioned earlier, means little to nothing. That is easily the worst officiated football game I have ever watched.
Still gotta get
was
done. Still gotta
throwing
get done.
things
Still gotta get done.
across-
No excuses.
across- They almost beat them despite
They
being
were-
robbed of a touchdown on the incomplete pass, never made a football move. They got robbed of a fumble, returned for a touchdown. The targeting that got rid of Sean Wade, our second best corner, and then got him ejected, and then a first down on what, like 3rd and 20? Like, are you kidding? And then they went down and scored, and then they still, with all of that, only lost by 6 because of a miscommunication between a lot of
miscommunication. That's what comes down. That's the difference between going to national title
No,
and
that's what I'm
not.
saying.
And
The
getting whooped by
difference
Joe
was the
Burrow.
That's what I'm
refs.
saying. That's why you can't trust Justin Fields. He's not reliable like just like
It was
Trevor
on
Lawrence.
defense.
But you want to hear a good stat? You want to hear a good
I'm
stat
talking
for that game?
about that final pass, the interception that he threw.
Their first 4 possessions, Ohio State got into the red zone. They came
That's
out of
true.
4 possessions in the red zone with 16 points. Does an
That's
elite
true.
quarterback do that in the semifinal?
Yeah.
No.
He's
No,
a
he
late
doesn't.
quarterback.
No, you score more than 16 points in
If you look at
4
Trevor
straight red
Lawrence's-
zones. You had all the momentum.
What was the score of the first half? You guys
It
know?
was like 16.
We were up 8. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you
sure.
had
No, it was,
up.
no, I thought it was like 16-14.
No, we were up.
18,
We were up.
18,
They were
14,
Ohio
something
State was
like that.
definitely up.
Or it might have been the first quarter. I don't know.
Ohio State.
'Cause I
They were up
remember
for a while,
that.
but Trevor Lawrence.
No, it was. I think it was like
he took
19,
the
14.
after that run, it was over. I mean, like they
Yeah,
had the
the
momentum.
momentum shift. They couldn't.
You could tell.
Ohio State they were out of it.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so guys, let us know if you guys follow college football. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Sam Ellinger, or
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Ugh.
Sam Ellinger.
go.
Sam.
No, Trey Lance
Ellinger.
might be insane in the NFL. I
Okay.
honestly think he might be.
So we're
Tell
gonna
you.
stay on football right now. And last episode we went over the top 100 and who we thought was too high and too low. So now I guess we're gonna go broader and say who we think our division winners are. We've assigned each division to certain people, and we're gonna just state our predictions right now. All right,
You want to start with the
can go.
NFC? Just the
It
NFC
doesn't
in
matter.
general?
You just say okay. I have 2 NFCs.
Yeah, you start. You
so-
start.
Okay, so I got NFC West. I'm sorry, Rams fans. Sorry, Cardinals fans.
It's fine. It's not. It's just not true. But
Do those
Yeah.
exist? Do Cardinals fans exist?
Niners. Probably. I got the 49ers. Their defense is elite. Jimmy Garoppolo is overrated, but he'll get the job done. He'll get
fact.
the best record. I have them going 12-4. I have the Seahawks going 11-5. So I think the Cardinals. I think they have a little bit of Browns last year symptoms. They have a lot of flashy pieces on offense, a lot of good pieces on defense, including Isaiah Simmons,
You
who
don't
I think
think-
is going to be amazing, and Chandler Jones. But their O-line is questionable at best. I think they drafted Josh Jones from Houston, who's a good player. But I think their O-line, especially with a small guy like Kyler Murray, looking to hit a deep threat like DeAndre Hopkins, is just going to get him killed. But I do think there is potential there. And then the Rams, it hurts me to see their collapse.
They're not collapsing. Cam Akers,
they
bro. No, Cam Akers.
Okay.
It's hard to run
NFC
when you
South,
have no O-line.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a counter to that.
They drafted a few O-line. Come on now.
The 49ers thing, though, is that their defense is great. The Seahawks also had a great defense. And I don't know if you heard this. I'm sure you did. They got the best safety in the NFL in the trade.
Okay.
I think that boosts their defense.
How much of that? How much?
I think
how much of an upgrade is Jamal Adams over McDougal? Is he
Enough to make it. They're gonna.
I think no doubt.
It's 49ers offense. They trade away a good one, right? They traded away. Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Emmanuel Sanders is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got
their offense is just gonna rely on George Kittle, and Jamal Adams is a hard-hitting safety.
Yeah, I don't see their running backs. Well, I just don't think he's reliable enough yet. Not yet. I was not to say he won't be, but if you look at his like highlights and stats in like Miami, I think he was in Miami for a little bit. He was somewhere, maybe Jacksonville, but they just weren't. I don't know. I don't think he's reliable quite yet. And then,
Here's
and then
a
also,
hot take.
well, no matter what, it's the hardest division in the league. I think, no doubt. I don't think
NFC South.
Okay.
Here's a hot take. I don't think the actual running back matters that much. Like, I don't think in the NFL the gap between a great running back and a good running back, and there's so many good running backs, I don't think it's that big. I think if you have a great offensive line and the running back will put up big numbers, but obviously you have like the top tier of guys like Todd Gurley 2018 was, or Le'Veon Bell 2017.
Yeah, like Zeke, Saquon. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Saquon, but like,
yeah.
Is there that? It's not. It can't be. There's so many teams with like a good running back, like a Aaron Jones or a Raheem Mostert was last year, or like I feel like running back doesn't matter that much. Like having a great running back versus having a decent.
I totally get that, but like you see, but then you do see like these other running backs like Lamar Miller, and like David Johnson, even though he's coming off injury, like I don't know. I feel like it's just it can be running back sometimes.
The thing those guys have in common though is they played behind a bad O-line.
Yeah.
I mean that's fair.
Versus
the 49ers also traded Marquise
Saquon plays behind a bad O-line and he's still great, but because he's a special player. But
especially coming off 1 yard game.
Okay, my NFC South prediction is the Saints. I think, yeah. Oh, you thought I was gonna say the Bucks.
Yeah.
Dude, I am not a believer in Brady anymore after that last year exit to big boy Derek. I don't know. I think the NFC South is probably the third hardest division.
Who's number two?
Second.
Yeah.
NFC West.
Who's number one?
AFC North.
The 2-14 Bengals.
Are you on drugs or something?
Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Ravens.
The floor is so much lower there than either of the two floors.
You're just trying to make up excuses for the Browns to stop sucking. No. That's literally what you're doing. You're trying to compensate.
The NFC West.
You're trying to compensate the Browns, and I know you are. I know you are.
Bengals also drag it down so far. If you look at the floor of the NFC West, the Cardinals are.
It's fine. Let's not debate that. It's fine. Max is just ignorant.
Okay. All right. Who has the next NFC?
Okay, I'll take it on. So
you gave Alex the NFC North.
The NFC East. NFC East.
I have
okay. I think it's kind of unanimous right now. I think the Cowboys are definitely the top team in the NFC. Maybe the Eagles, but I just definitely not. So not maybe. I think it's the Cowboys definitely. In my opinion, they have the best receiving core in the league, with Michael Gallup over 1,000 yards, Amari Cooper over 1,000 yards. CeeDee Lamb is going to be. I honestly think he's better than both. I think he has potential to be better than both receivers, than Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper. If you look at his drops, for example, Amari Cooper, but he's still insane. And then with Zeke, they could have the best offense in the league this year, honestly. Because Zeke is always, I think he's the most reliable and consistent QB in the running back in the league. If you just look at his stats and carries, along with just Dak Prescott coming off a monster season, he threw like 4,900 yards or something like that. What second passing leader? Passing leader.
Yeah, I think so. After Big Jameis.
Yeah, and then they also in the I think they had the best draft in my opinion, or one of the best drafts this year, because they filled in their patch. They patched like holes in their defense with the cornerbacks because the cornerbacks were god awful last year. And then defensive ends also they drafted. So even though Jerry Jones, I'm not a big fan.
And they signed
That's
Everson
a
Griffin
shaky
today.
defense. I still think that's a shaky defense, but
A shaky. I mean, they might be a shaky defense, but still, though, I don't know.
Byron
They're
Jones
shaky,
hurt them.
but
Byron
there's
Jones
no-
hurt them.
that's true. But there's nobody. I don't think there's any defense that's like.
Didn't they also lose Travis Frederick, right? Travis
It's a
Frederick
retirement, yeah.
retired,
But
exactly.
that O-line is still...
That doesn't matter.
disgusting.
I know, but
With
he's their
Zeke
center,
too.
right?
With Zeke too.
okay, go.
But yeah.
I'd still have the
And then-
Chiefs offense over them, though.
No, I mean, yeah, I would too.
Yeah, okay. We'll get
I
to
would
that.
too.
We'll get to the
Go
Chiefs.
to what's the other division?
NFC team. Blast NFC.
Oh, I got the North. All right. So there, I have the Packers. The Packers. I don't see in any world that the Lions or the Bears win it. That Bears quarterback room is one hell of a quarterback room, I've got to say.
Big
But
Mitch.
but
Big boy.
I think they definitely have the edge over the Vikings. I think their defenses are relatively close. I think they don't have as good linebackers. I think Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks Eric Kendricks is a top linebacker in the league. Their
UCLA.
secondary, I don't think their secondary is as
the
good.
Vikings
either.
secondary is
so biased.
bad. It's bad.
They have
Except for
Harrison
safeties are
Smith
great.
and
their
Anthony
safeties
Harris.
are good, but
Harris
the
Smith-
corners are.
Yeah, the
Corners
corners
are
are
Burnt
burnt
toast.
Yeah, but then defensive line, I say just for me, their defensive line is just Kenny Clark versus Neil Hunter. I go Kenny Clark over him. And then for their offenses, I have Aaron Rodgers over Kirk Cousins. I don't think
That's fair. Yeah.
debatable at all. He had 400 more yards. Then Dalvin Cook, I'd say Dalvin Cook is better than Aaron Jones, but the thing is, he's so injury prone that I wouldn't know how reliable he is for now. It's an 18-game season. I don't know how reliable.
Is he out this year at all?
He probably
Cook?
will be.
Yeah, he was. He was.
He was
Cook
yeah.
was out last year. He was
He
on
was
my fantasy
holding
team.
out.
Well, no, I know.
Yeah.
Holding out.
But so he only had around 100 more yards than Aaron Jones. He had 10 more touchdowns, but
No, Aaron Jones had more
He's-
touchdowns.
yeah, no.
Oh, just rushing or rushing?
Rushing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. He has the rushing edge, but he also has the injury problems. Then their receiving cores, both of them, I'd say, is their top receiver, and then it drops off a
Really?
little bit. I'd say Devontae Adams is better than Adam Thielen.
But I would say the Vikings have a better secondary receiver.
They have a little
than the
deeper.
Packers. As
Though.
a
Yeah, they're a
Packers
little
fan.
deeper.
Yeah.
Didn't they draft KJ? No, KJ Hamler was on the Broncos.
No, they got
Did
the
draft?
guy from LSU.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson.
Justin
yeah.
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. Yeah, he's gonna be.
He's gonna be good.
He's good.
Yeah, but I think tight ends wise, they don't really have either of them have great tight ends. I mean, Kyle Rudolph is better than Jace Sternberger, the dangerous
tight end as well.
He's a blocker.
Yeah.
He's a guard.
So, I mean, for that, I just have to give it to the Packers. They went 13-3 last year. Matt LaFleur is getting more experience as a head coach in the league now. Mike Zimmer is a good coach. He's a good coach, but I think it has to go to the Vikings. I mean, the Packers.
Oh.
But I do have a good
AFC
transition.
time.
All right,
Yeah,
Also
AFC. Talking about the Vikings, their newly traded player to the Buffalo Bills. That's for the AFC East. I think the Bills aren't winning their division. I think it's still the Patriots. Just because I think Cam Newton is better than Tom Brady currently. I'm just gonna say it. And I'm a big Josh Allen nonce where he's just strong arm and that's it. Stephon Diggs is great, But then his mediocre wide receiving core behind him, Cole Beasley.
Okay.
John Brown.
Well, can I just address this? Like, I hate Tom Brady just as much as the next person does, right? Even more. I hate Tom Brady, but we've always put so much doubt into Tom Brady about his age and how he's always going to be bad. And I get that they made it to the wild. They got kicked out by the Titans, and it was the end of the dynasty. But I just don't see how Tom Brady does poorly with Mike Evans and Chris Goodwin as his receiver.
We're not there yet. What?
No, I'm just saying, like, you guys are trashing Tom Brady, and you think Cam Newton's better than Tom Brady right now.
He's still gonna put up numbers. But there are people.
All right.
Did you see Cam Newton's numbers last year?
Go
bro?
to Jason.
Yeah, let's move on. No, Jason already said his.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Well, I have the quarterbacks there.
Right.
Wide receivers, it's all obviously to Buffalo. Running backs, Singletary's better than Michelle and White. But defenses, they have Trey White, Trey Davis, Edmonds, Ed Oliver, Micah Hyde, the Bills. Great defense. But let's not forget, the Patriots have the McCourty brothers. They have Dante Hightower, who's underrated in my opinion.
Opted out, by the way.
Oh, he opted out?
Yeah, he opted out.
They don't have Dante Hightower, but they still have the reigning defensive player of the year. I just think that's a big boost for them.
No,
and they have the biggest difference in coaches, I'd say. Bill Belichick is just so much higher. I forgot what the Bills' coach name is. What is his name?
Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
I can't call him a good coach because I don't know if you guys remember 2 years ago, I think it is now. They were making a playoff push.
He just got a bag. He just got an extension.
I know. 2 years ago, they're making a playoff push. They have Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback. And what does he decide to do when he rolls into Los Angeles to play the Chargers? Put Nathan Peterman in. We all know what happened there. Is that a sign of a good coach? I mean, he's obviously a competent coach. But is that one who's ready to take the division from Bill Belichick?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
think so.
Let's move on to
I'll
the
go.
AFC.
AFC North time. Okay.
Come on, let me hear it.
The
Let me hear
winner, obviously, you have to go Ravens. We'll see how people adjust to Lamar. But he's
That's
Lamar.
like unarguable.
He's the best season. We'll just see how people adjust him. I want to see how people try to adjust him. I don't think it's gonna work.
They tried all season.
I know, but with the season of tape now, I'm not saying they're going to, Alex. I'm just saying let's see.
No, I know.
how
I know. I'm just.
Okay.
I'm building
Yeah.
on that.
But yeah, we'll see how that happens. But the big race is for that. Wow, I think a team from the AFC North will be the wild card, whether it's the Steelers or the Browns. I think the Browns are more talented than the Steelers by a long shot. But in the NFL, coaching matters a lot, probably more than any other professional sports league. And Mike Tomlin is probably the second best coach, arguably the second best coach of
Third
the
after Sean
2010s.
McVay,
Well, like
Oh.
Sean McVay had that 1 year, but Mike Tomlin's had a good team every single year.
Did they
Obviously,
win the Super Bowl in the 2010s?
2000s, 2010s.
Did
Like
they
the-
win?
the
Did they go to
Belichick
back-to-back
era.
Super Bowls
No,
in the
but
2010s?
Mike Tomlin also
No.
just doesn't lose. That team was god awful last year, and they went 8-8.
Because their defense. How was
Their defense is good,
Yeah.
but
He's
I
the
think
coach
they
of
have
the. I
the
mean,
defense
he's a
advantage,
coach
but
still of that team.
I want to like the Browns so much, but we'll see how they do.
I don't know if the
I'm not
Browns-
gonna put any predictions on the Browns because
The
they're
front
they could
office.
be really good or really bad. I have no idea. But the Steelers are gonna be your consistent 9-7, 10-6 Steelers team. And I think that's AFC North. Bengals at the bottom, even though Joe Burrow is an intriguing player, and I think it's gonna be great. Don't think Zach Taylor's a good coach, but I think Joe Burrow will be great. And then let's see, AFC West. Moving on to the AFC West.
Jacob
Obviously-
kind of had the two easiest ones.
Yeah, number one, Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry, not just kidding.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
You have to have the
Kansas City
Inglewood
Chiefs,
Chargers at number
the
one, right?
reigning Super Bowl MVP, best player in the league, secured the bag this offseason. Patrick Mahomes is probably the best
Chill,
quarterback.
why are you
Is going
rocking?
to be because it's fun.
He's so excited.
The best quarterback, going to be the best quarterback of all time, Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh,
of his career.
big claims.
Hot take. He's just the best I think anyone's ever seen. He's got the arm strength, but he's just got another year of getting his Tom Brady on, as Lamar says, just like mentally progressing. Doesn't even need to because his arm is so powerful and his reads are so great and he's such a beast. But I don't know. Nobody's stopping the Chiefs offense. Number 2, I think the other teams in that division, though, are intriguing. The Chargers, the Raiders, and the what's the last one? The Broncos. And I think the Broncos have some fun players, like Drew Lock. See how he does. Noah Fant.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers have some fun players, like Austin Eckler. And I think the Raiders have some fun players, but I don't see any of those teams as a playoff team. And the Chiefs are far above the rest of the division.
Yeah, no, I think even
Alex,
with that,
finish it off.
Okay, I'll finish it off, but let me just make a quick point. Like, even with the Chargers are probably going to be dead last, in my opinion. Okay. Let me just say AFC
Derwin
South.
James sucks.
Derwin James overrated. Definitely should. Definitely should not have gone. Because I have Jacksonville. Of course, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna make the same joke as everybody else. But it's Tennessee. I think Tennessee Titans. I just don't think. I think Mike Vrabel is on.
Michael Pittman.
No, I know. I love Michael. Shout out to Michael and Kiana. I love you guys. But Michael's almost there. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how good your QB is. Let's be honest for a second between me and you, Michael.
You're hating on Big Boy Phil, Big Mormon.
Bro, he's like 9 children.
I don't get how people say he's gonna be good this year. He made terrible reads last year.
Ready? Okay, so for the AFC South, I have Tennessee. I think Derrick Henry still is the king. He's gonna be the king this season of the rushing title. Ryan Tannehill is just a whole new player. I think everybody agrees with that. I think I saw a stat where he's like the #1 QB under pressure this year, #1 pocket passer under pressure. And then I think Mike Vrabel is actually top 3 or 4 in coaches. I think that's just like pretty. I don't know why Jason has his mouth open over there, but I think that's true.
3?
I think he's pretty far up there. I mean, Anthony Lynn's probably 31st, and sorry, separate topic. So then they also ended, the evil empire, the dynasty, the New England Patriots. And I think coming off an insane year that nobody was expecting, I think Tennessee's just going to take it back in. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So now we're going to switch gears like a lot. And then, so we've each made a tier list that will show on the screen right now, one for each of us describing them. So we're going to just talk about the cereals that we most enjoy. I eat cereal like every night.
You're gonna share your screen?
Cereal at night is better.
Yeah, share your screen. So.
He's lactose intolerant, remember, so he can't eat milk.
Shut up.
So just know his opinion might be a little biased, and no milk included.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Cocoa Puffs and
Cocoa
Mini
Puffs
Wheats.
slap.
Excuse me.
That's
What
facts.
is
That's
this?
facts.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Mini Wheats?
Okay,
Mini
wait.
Wheats
Let him
are nowhere
explain. Let him
near as-
explain. Jason, shut your mouth.
Okay.
I bet.
My one thing I have to say about this is French Toast Crunch. I saw this in Gelson's one day with my dad. I'm like, oh, because Cinnamon Toast Crunch is just that good. It is the GOAT cereal. If there was 3 tiers above that, above S, it would go there. But it was so disappointing. It's not like, it doesn't taste that bad, but it's just it sounds so good, but it's just not. It's just so disappointing. Okay, that's my one thing on that. Anything else, it could go either or.
Can I just say a point here? I don't know why Apple Jacks are up there. I'm gonna be honest.
Apple Jacks are C? I thought you would think that's low.
Well, they should probably be
so
lower than
low.
that.
Yeah, Apple Jacks are underrated.
Overrated.
That's
Talking about
They're
Alex.
overrated. And then also Pop-Tarts. I've never tried that, but
I've never tried that either.
It's kind
How
of
about
gross.
I like
yeah, those
Pop-Tarts.
are. I don't know if
Wait,
those
can
should
we
be up there.
please get an explanation of Mini Wheats in S tier?
Yeah, Mini Wheats and S tier.
The
Bro,
strawberry mini wheats?
Bro, they're the most
normal
unreliable
mini wheats
thing.
are at A.
You can get like a fat mini wheat with no frosting on it.
Yeah,
and
The
it's
fat
like,
ones make
one of
up for
those.
it.
but if you have no frosting, it's like, oh my god, and then you
No,
avoid
shut
the
up.
frosting. You avoid the
It's
no
like too
frosting ones, and then all you have
Captain
left is
Crunch.
You're
no
such a
frosting.
baby. You avoid the no frosting ones.
Yeah, you
Of course
don't.
I do. Who
It's
doesn't?
And then
everybody
eat your
does.
vegetables.
Everybody
You
does.
probably
What's wrong
plug
with
your
you?
nose when you jump in the
Everyone
pool too.
does.
That's who you are, man.
Oh.
You plug your nose.
Dude, stop.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
to-
Go to the other one. Let's see.
All right, hold on.
Are pops good? I've never had those.
Pops are
Pops
fire.
slap.
Pops are straight.
Alright,
heat.
Jason,
Oh well,
let's
I
go.
put those too low
Jason.
then, because I didn't know.
Jason is.
All right,
Jason
those
is crushed
bottom
on all
left,
the
those,
sugary
those
ones.
are Halloween ones are terrible. Those are terrible. Those Halloween ones on the bottom left. I don't know who thought they were good. They're the worst food I've consumed for breakfast of all time.
How have you?
They're
You bought those?
Such a bad idea. Because when you're a little kid, they're cool little Halloween stuff. Count Chocula? That doesn't sound fun to eat.
Bro,
You eat it, and it's terrible.
Jason Loki looks like
Why?
Count
I want
Chocula,
to.
the guy on the.
No, who's
It's
that
terrible.
guy? Barry. Something Barry.
Boo Berry or something like that. It's terrible. I don't know why. It's
Alright.
terrible. Also, Fruity Pebbles are disgusting. If you say
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not,
for
Rice
sure.
Krispie treats. There's
Crazy.
plain Rice Krispies ahead of Honey Nut Cheerios. I just don't understand that.
I can't have Honey Nut Cheerios, so I can't.
Honey Nut Cheerios are fire.
Raisin Bran, I
they're
want to
so
put them higher.
reliable too.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Captain Crunch.
Crunch berries. I also.
There's no
agree with
way
you.
Honey Nut Cheerios are D tier. Just saying.
There's no. Yeah. There's no way.
Really?
No.
I
Yeah.
Those
Okay,
are the
all right,
perfect
let's go to the
snack.
next one.
Crave is also underrated. Swag.
I've never had. Maybe I have.
It's good.
It's-
Okay. Let me explain mine. First of
Cocoa
all,
Puffs.
I'm not like a. I like cereal, but I only like really enjoy Cinnamon Toast Crunch and like Honey Nut Cheerios. Those are like the only two that I eat. And Cocoa Puffs,
Oh my god.
because they make the milk chocolate milk,
Ooh.
which is like makes it really
Ooh.
good. But I never had like
A
I
child
never
egg.
had the Captain Crunch. I didn't know the difference of all the varieties. But rice
oops.
checks sounded really nasty, so I put those in D tier. Corn flakes and honeycombs sounded nasty. I didn't know what
Honeycomb is good.
the green
course you
Cheerios
tried
thing. I had no
honeycomb.
idea what that was. Pops, I didn't know they were good, so I put them in C tier. I just never had them really. Tricks,
What are the
I've
green
never had.
Cheerios?
Frosted Flakes are fine.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, they get too soggy, bro.
Yeah, they.
What?
Cocoa
Frosted
Pebbles.
Flakes.
Cocoa
Oh my-
Pebbles, I assumed, and Cocoa Krispies, I assumed had the same effect as Cocoa Puffs, where they made the milk chocolate milk. That's like my favorite part.
How is Frosted Flakes C, bro?
Oh,
I
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
low.
have them. I don't really have them, so I
Fruity
just
Pebbles
don't
is
know.
too high.
Bro, if you Frosted Flakes without milk slaps, and then Frosted Flakes with just a tad milk slaps, no matter what. Max,
I'm
you should
sure
be
it
liking
does.
Frosted
I'm
Flakes.
sure
You
it
don't even drink
does.
milk.
I'm sure it does.
Shut up.
You,
But all I
drive
know,
away.
all I know is that Lucky Charms, little marshmallow things, are the best things ever, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best
Let
cereal
me just-
in general.
Let me
So,
just start off with my list right here.
Yeah.
Let me just say, start off with the two most underrated cereals out there. So the cinnamon checks,
Oh.
those straight slaps.
Oh
Don't
no!
even And Raisin Bran Crunch. Raisin Bran Crunch.
Oh, that's
slaps.
good.
Raisin
Slaps.
Bran, yeah.
I was-
It's
Yeah.
the most.
Sure, which one
Yo,
was mine?
I know people be hating on raisins and all,
Raisin
but let
Bran
me tell
Crunch
you,
is
I love
fire.
raisins. Okay, Raisin Bran Crunch straight slaps. Fruity
Let me
Pebbles.
tell you.
Okay, and
Don't you dare call Fruity
I'm out.
Pebbles
The
good,
top-
because they're not.
the top four, I think, are the just undebatably top four.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's hard to argue even with you guys. Lucky
I'm
Charms
sure-
should be S tier. Frosted Flakes is S tier. It's always consistent. Cocoa Puffs, S tier of
Am
course.
I?
And the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, S goes.
Pops are underrated. They're so good.
Yeah, they're good.
Pops straight slaps. Same as Kicks. I think Kicks are honestly also underrated. It's
Kicks are a
weird,
little
dude.
worse than Pops.
No,
Am I
I think
missing
they're.
something,
I
or
think
do you
they're
not
pretty
have-
significantly worse, but they still
A
slap.
little bit.
Do you not have Captain Crunch up there?
And then let's just go to D really fast. If you eat Golden Crunch, please stop watching the podcast right now. Just turn
Go
off the
fix
turn
your
off
life.
the
What
video.
are blue Cheerios?
Maybe go eat your vegan salad
Frosted.
right
They're
now.
like gluten-free Cheerios.
Oh,
And
Where I'm missing Captain
shout out
Crunch on the
Jeremy
list.
Van.
And then-
shout out
Ayo.
and then cornflakes. If you eat cornflakes, please stop watching the video also. Or if you think cornflakes are like bad, cornflakes actually aren't that bad. But if you put like anything like
If you eat them plain, that's a problem.
Them plain, it's like
That
no
is a
sugar.
big problem.
You're just trying to fill yourself with food. And then the knockoff Cheerios with Cheerios, like trying to expand their brand with the vanilla and chocolate. It's like, what are you doing, Cheerios? Stay in your lane. We like you, okay? But yeah.
Where's Captain Crunch? Where is it? Am I missing
Oh
it?
yeah, no, they didn't make the list, Captain Crunch.
Wow! Captain Crunch is one of the
I didn't
best.
see it. No, I just forgot to put Captain Crunch on there.
Okay.
Captain
I
Crunch is
also,
S
never
tier
really
without
tried
a
it.
doubt. Without a doubt. S tier.
A tier
All
best.
right. I think that is a great place to end it. Hold on.
Oh,
Sorry for that. We were sharing our screen
uniforms?
so we could all see it.
Uniforms.
We do an
So-
outro where we all like
Okay.
Bro fist.
bro fist nugget.
Okay. I think that's a great place to end it. Thank you all for watching. Justin Fields is better. Thanks
True.
for watching again.
Trevor
We'll see you
Lawrence,
next
bye.
time.